Today we're going to talk about some of the most famous figures who were assassinated live, in public, or right in front of the world's eyes, shocking moments that history will never forget. John F. Kennedy. In 1963, the U.S. president was riding in an open car in Dallas when he was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. The assassination was caught on camera and remains one of the most analyzed events in history. Within minutes, Kennedy was rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital, but doctors could not save him. At 1 p.m., the 46-year-old president was pronounced dead. Police quickly arrested Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with ties to communist groups, who was seen fleeing the Texas School Book Depository building, where the shots were believed to have come from. But just 2 days later, before he could stand trial, Oswald himself was shot and killed live on television by nightclub owner Jack Ruby. Kennedy's assassination left the world stunned and sparked endless conspiracy theories about a possible second shooter, the mafia, the CIA, or even foreign governments. To this day, many believe the full truth has never been revealed. Anwar Sadat. In 1981, during a military parade in Cairo, the Egyptian president was gunned down by extremists disguised as soldiers. The shocking attack was broadcast live. A group of soldiers riding in a military truck suddenly stopped. They weren't just soldiers, they were members of the radical group Egyptian Islamic Jihad. One of them, Lieutenant Khalid Islambuli, jumped from the vehicle shouting "Death to the Pharaoh," as others threw grenades and opened fire with rifles. The parade instantly turned into chaos. Sadat stood up from his chair at the first explosion, but within seconds he was hit by a hail of bullets. In total, he was struck by more than 30 rounds. 11 others were killed, and over 20 were injured, including diplomats. Sadat was rushed to a military hospital, but within 2 hours he was pronounced dead at age 62. Benazir Bhutto. In 2007, Pakistan's former prime minister was leaving a rally when a gunman opened fire and then set off a suicide bomb, killing her and dozens of supporters. Bhutto collapsed inside the vehicle with a fatal head injury. More than 20 people were killed in the blast, and over 60 were injured. She was rushed to Rawalpindi General Hospital, but doctors could not save her. Within an hour, the news spread, Benazir Bhutto was dead at 54 years old. Her assassination shocked the entire world. Bhutto was not only the first woman to lead a Muslim-majority nation, but also a symbol of democratic hope for millions of Pakistanis. Indira Gandhi. In 1984, the Indian Prime Minister was assassinated in her own garden by her Sikh bodyguards, who shot her more than 30 times in revenge for a military operation. That morning, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi walked through the garden of her New Delhi residence. Her 2 Sikh bodyguards, Ben Singh and Satwant Singh, were stationed close to her as usual, carrying weapons as part of their duty. Suddenly, in an act of revenge, both guards opened fire at point-blank range. Ben Singh fired the first shots, and Satwant Singh continued the attack. Indira Gandhi was hit by more than 30 bullets, collapsing instantly on the garden path. The news spread immediately. India's first female prime minister was dead at 66 years old. Chaos erupted across the nation. Riots followed, and the assassination left a deep scar on Indian politics and society. Jean Jaurès, the French politician and peace activist, was assassinated in 1914 while sitting in a Paris café, just days before the outbreak of World War I. John Lennon. In 1980, outside his New York apartment, the Beatles legend was shot 4 times by Mark David Chapman only hours after signing an autograph for him. As Lennon and Yoko walked back through the entrance of the Dakota, Chapman was still there, this time armed with a .38 caliber revolver. Without warning, he fired 5 shots at close range. 4 of those bullets struck Lennon in the back and shoulder, piercing his lungs and major blood vessels. Severely wounded, Lennon staggered up a few steps and collapsed, whispering, "I'm shot, I'm shot." A doorman wrestled Chapman to the ground, but he did not try to run. Instead, he calmly sat down on the sidewalk, reading a copy of The Catcher in the Rye until police arrested him minutes later. Lennon was rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, but doctors could not save him. At 11:15 p.m., the 40-year-old icon was pronounced dead. The news broke quickly, first on a live TV broadcast of a football game, where millions of Americans heard the shocking announcement. Around the world, fans wept, gathering outside the Dakota, singing Beatles songs through the night. XXXTentacion. In 2018, the rapper was ambushed and shot dead in Florida during a robbery attempt while leaving a motorcycle dealership. The tragic scene was partly captured on video. 2 masked men jumped out, armed with guns. They confronted him in broad daylight, demanding money and valuables. Witnesses say there was a brief struggle, and then one of the gunmen opened fire, hitting X multiple times through the driver's side window. The attackers grabbed a Louis Vuitton bag full of cash, nearly $50,000 he had withdrawn from the bank earlier that day, before fleeing the scene. Passers-by recorded the aftermath on their phones. Video spread across social media within minutes, showing XXXTentacion slumped unconscious in his car as bystanders tried to help. He was rushed to Broward Health North Hospital, but at 5:30 p.m., doctors pronounced him dead at just 20 years old. The murder shocked millions of fans around the world. He had been controversial, yet deeply loved, with a loyal fanbase who saw him as a voice for the lost and broken.